So now we want to look at the statics methods are not tied to a specific object. GetCount is a static method that we being called from circle, small circle. We call it from circle, small circle, and the circle class itself. So when we run this, we see that they all returns 2 because it's not like non-static method like setRadius. Or let me do getRadius. So getRadius is going to return this dot radius. So let's see the difference. So getCount, and we see getCount. We're going to do now getRadius, they are non-static, but getCount they are statics, right? So getRadius for circle. So non-static mean it's tied to the circle itself. And getRadius for non-static is tied to the small circle itself. And of course in this case we can't use this circle.getRadius because it's tied to the specific object or instance. Then circle will never know which one you're talking about. We can't do that, right? So when we run this, you see that when we get radius for a circle, it returns its own radius, which is 100. And when we get radius for a small circle, it returns the radius is 5. Because it ties to its own instance. But for the statics getCount, since it's not tied to any specific object or instance, then we can just say circle.getCount is going to refer to 2. Either one of this is going to refer to the same thing, 2, because it's not tying to any. Statics constants are final variables shared by all the instances of the class. So if I want to create, like circle should have a static constants. I'm going to say statics final means you're creating a constant. And constants, we have to capitalize them in the naming convention for Java. Capitalize all the letters. Equals to 22 divided by 7 in the term of double. Then we have to give the type to pi. So I just do 7.0. And this should be double. So this is a statics final, which is the constant, statics constant. Static constant are final variables. You see that. Now it's shared by all the instances of the class. So that means circle share pi, small circle also share pi, right? Just like the same principle of count. In this case, if I want to create methods like getArea, so double getArea, and this is the non-static methods because each circle should have its own area, right? Then it should be non-static. So it should return pi r square, right? Times this dot radius times this dot radius. That's r square, right? Pi r square. Alright, so If I want to use this, I can just say system.out.print line, and we can just say circle.getArea. So this is for the 100 radius circle because we update from 1 to 100, and this is for small circle. Alright, let's see, what do we get? Let's put the area of circle with radius equals to circle dot get radius, and say is, so let's just concatenate with keep the radius and the area, and do the same with small circle. This one should be small circle. So let's run this. You see that? So the constant is shared among the instances. We can get the constants outside here too in the main, since it's shared, meaning that not the scope. We have to talk about scope. Like now, we have modifier as public. So scope of all the public methods here, it will valid inside the whole project. Like other classes here, we'll be able to use them. Like you see, in main, I'm able to use getCount because getCount is public. SetRadius is public. I am able to use, even they are resizing in different package. Now, this concept is very important. So this concept I'm talking about the scope. Okay. We spell the modifiers and accessors mutator methods. By default, the class, variables, or method can be accessed by any class in the same package. In the same package, meaning that this is a package. Default means you don't define private public here. So those are default. You may see if I try to access pi radius count itself, I couldn't. I only be able to access get count because this is statics. If I use circle, or if I do like the instance, these are the methods that I can access because they are public. But I can't access pi radius count when they're default because they're residing in different package. Again, you see this on the test. Default will not be able to access in different package, but it will be able to access if there's a class inside the same package that I'm going to show here. Like circle driver, I'm going to access pi and radius to show you. System.out.print circle dot There you go. I am able to access the pi. Right? And this is a static constant. That's why it's shared among different instances. Meaning that if I create an instance of circles, see if I try to do pi here, I couldn't access to that. If I try to do inside the same package, and I want to access the default, I could. So this is the default. Pi is the default. If I want to access Redis, I should be able to, because they are default. And default allow you to access among other classes inside the same package. See, we get, and we see that constants, final constant is shared among different instances in the class. So if I do small circle, you see pi is shared, and it's going to have its own Redis print out what pi is the constant and static final. Redis is not static, that's why it's not shared with different values. So that's the concept of default. How about public? We already see public. Class data or method is visible to any class in any packages. Like here in package company main having access to all the public, like get count, set radius, toString, those are public. Right. Private, the data or methods can be accessed only by the insider class or declaring class. I didn't show you the private here, but we could create a one private here. Let's say I want to get public private. Oh no, I have to say private. Private. Let's create a class. It is a private to this one. So that means it's going to use just inside this circle class. Like my main class and circle driver class, we will not be able to access this method because it's private. And normally private is just a class that just want to use to support another method in this class. Let's say I'm going to create public double to get circumference, right? So that should be 2 pi r, right? But I'm going to create a method private that used inside this class. Say calculate circumference. So it will return 2 times pi times. So it's based on the radius that is being provided. Right. So in this case, it should be this dot radius. Okay. Or if you want to provide through here, like double, because that's the point of this. Just calculate the radius. Pass me the radius. I'll get the radius for you. Like get circumference can call privately call calculate circumference and pass the radius of the circle to calculate. You may see that private is only used to help get circumference to calculate. When we want to get the circumference of the circle,